Really, do we need to go back and fight Wilder? No, we don't.
Only about whether her first leg, when she first ran by, whether that was going to be an airside.
Hello.
How are you doing, Lee? Are you alright, mate?
I'm alright. How are you, Russ?
I'm alright, pal. I'm alright.
Good stuff, mate.
Thought I'd give you a ring, mate. Right, fire away. What would you like to talk about, Lee?
Yeah, no, it was right. I was watching the Joshua Miller press conference.
Yeah.
I was watching it on IFL first, but because the audio's a bit dodgy, I thought, you know what, I'll put it on Sky Sports Boxing's, channel. Yeah. And then when I was watching it, I noticed they were, muting the swear words.
Yeah. It goes on all the time. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, right, they said a warning may contain whatever language, on like the Facebook page, for example. Yeah. So I was watching it and they were muting some of the swear words. Then there was like about 20 odd, 30 odd seconds where it was just muted. Yeah. And I thought, I wonder what's going on here.
It's delayed, isn't it?
Well, that's it. When I went over to another channel, it was actually Miller calling him out, saying, "Oh, I don't know anyone who's gone the Olympics 220 pounds and then a year later has put 20 pounds of muscle on." Yeah, 26 pounds it is actually. Wow. 26 pounds. Yeah. I'm just wondering, who is it? I want to know who is it at Sky Sports Boxing on the Facebook or the YouTube? Who was actually pressing that mute button? Production team, innit? It's the production team that do all that. Yeah. Now then, it makes me wonder. Yeah. Are they wanting to censor the fact that he's called them out on potential? Yeah. Well, what happens is, you see, right? I were calling them out on it on Twitter, and what happens is Eddie Hearn has all these people on ticket deals, and what Twitter have, they have software now. If you're getting, in fact, every time I put a tweet out, what were happening were it would get 300 people, 300 complaints. One of them were 500 and odd complaints, but once we appealed on it, Twitter narrowed it down to 58 accounts, right? So if each troll's running 9 or 10 accounts a piece on Twitter, they're just trying to drown me out, weren't they? And eventually, after getting kicked off there twice, I had 2,000 followers one time, and the second time were 12,300 and odd. So eventually I just said, you know what, enough's enough. And now I'm on YouTube, but they have tried it again. Now what they've done with YouTube, but YouTube, luckily their software's a bit better, so they can't do to me on YouTube what they did on Twitter, because YouTube, obviously, they're giving you a few pence here and there and cents on ads, so it's like a business, so they do treat you with a little bit more respect on YouTube. But we have been in touch with them, and we know what's going on. But they're going to try and shut the small minority up, aren't they? Because it's such a big money spinner for them now that they don't want to let go of it. They're not going to fight anybody now. They're going to hide behind offers and splits and politics and cliches, and it is what it is, and blah de blah. So I wouldn't look at Joshua fighting anybody any good. But he's even just said, Annie, Miller's crap, he's fat, he's overweight, he's shit, he's done nothing. And well, what are you doing in ring with him then, a big superstar like you? Do you know what I mean? It's wrongly. Speaking of Miller, I don't know if there's any truth in it, but apparently Pulev is going to be fighting that Bogdan-Dinu, Miller. Yeah. I just had a fight with, so I just wonder. I don't know. It'll be a tick-over fight for Pulev, won't it? Because he'll want to protect his #1 ranking. And you're probably going to look at Miller now and Joshua at Christmas, and Joshua's probably going to say, look, we're not going to give our belt up. We've got to sort our managers out, and then it's going to be, it's going to go. It all starts again then, but gradually and slowly but surely, people are cotton onto it now, and thinking, what's going on here? Who's this guy fighting? And his mask slipped yesterday, didn't it? Really. I mean, I prefer that, because I do. Yeah. You know, Joshua's got a bit of history behind him. Yeah. I prefer the truth. I like the fact he was, coming out of his shell a bit. Yeah, well, he's been convicted for drug dealing, and he gives somebody a good hiding, so he's not behind the door, is he? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. But they're giving him MBEs and OBEs, aren't they? Oh, it's ridiculous, that, isn't it?
Took Kenny Dalglish years to get one, didn't it?
Well, get rid of the monarchy, in my opinion, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
But one last thing as well, I was watching, do you know the Boxing Voice, the channel?
Yeah, I do watch that, yeah.
Channels, I don't know if you can say that, sorry.
Yeah, you're right,
an interview with Eddie Hearn, and basically, Wilder's come out and said, I don't have a TV deal, I'm a free agent, so in theory, that should make it easy, in my opinion, for a Fury Wilder fight or an AJ Wilder fight. But then when Eddie Hearn was getting pushed saying, you know, you're talking about giving these big figures to Golovkin and this, that, the other, why is Eddie Hearn not doing that for Wilder?
Why not? He's got $1 billion, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. So dip into $1 billion.
If you really want to make the fight, offer Wilder some of these big figures that, you know, you're offering to other people.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate, wholeheartedly, yeah. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to put him near any danger, because once he loses Joshua, right, he's tied in with, is it 14 or 15 blue chip companies? He'll have it in his contract, whereas if he gets beat, that invincibility goes from them blue chip companies. They only want to be seen with people who are invincible, you know, like Michael Jordan, LeBron James. They can lose a basketball game, but as individuals, they're still the star of the show, aren't they? Joshua's got, he's on his own, he's carrying a lot of people. That kid must be under a lot of pressure, because he's got Robert McCracken in his ear. He's going to want his 10%, isn't he? There's team behind him, his manager, they all want paying. All these blue chip companies are all in his head, and I think yesterday it got to him a little bit. That kid can't carry that around for him for too longer, because the pressure must be unbelievable. He knows he's got to perform. He's being pulled left, right and centre. He just looked like he didn't want to be there yesterday. But he'll have all these people, all these people will be in his ear now, right? Everybody all of a sudden becomes experts, don't they? Right? Look at Dillian White. He's the only man I know that could talk his way out of 6 million. Right? He's talked his way out in it now. Where is he now? Eddie Hearn's going to punish him now, like he's done Dave Allen. He's going to punish him and put him out to pasture for a few months, leave him to sweat.
Well, do you think that Dillian White, with his going to America, do you think that if Eddie Hearn did think to punish him, he's got potentially other people to go to?
Well, I mean, Dillian White went round. He went round all the houses, didn't he, talking to other promoters. Do you think Eddie Hearn's going to like that? He's not going to like that. You don't get Kell Brook doing that, do you?
Yeah.
Amir Khan did it, and they don't get on. Kell Brook hasn't done it. He's up at Dennis's gym today training, but I bet he wants to. But you're in limbo, because you think, well, you're with Eddie. Every now and then he comes up chumps. You get paid on time. When you leave Eddie Hearn, it's like leaving a top Premier League team, innit, to go to Championship. It's hit and miss whether you're going to get fights or get paid. You know, if you were Matchroom, you're going to get paid. Now, Dave Allen went on Sky and won against the Journeyman in a life and death and said, "Oh, I didn't even train." He's not had a slot since then, has he? He's not. Dave, he ain't got a slot, has he? Because Eddie will be thinking, "Do you know what? I'm going to punish you now." And Dave's probably loyal to him, but Dave's been training with Tyson and all that. He'll have them in his ear hole. Just like Dillian White, is he showing loyalty going and speaking to other promoters? He might be loyal to Eddie, but at end of day, who's Eddie loyal to? Do you remember when he said Lee Purdy was his best mate? Lee Purdy ain't going to beat a pot to piss in now. Where's Eddie helping him now? Best friend, my new best friend.
Yeah.
It's an unforgiving sport, Lee. Hey?
It's just him and his dad.
Him and his dad, look.
Frank Smith on the side.
Yeah, they're not even bothered about him, mate. Listen, he's expendable, mate. He's just doing what I was doing with Dennis. You're expendable, mate. When your time's up, and if it comes to it, right, if Frank Smith says something to somebody at a show who's a big sponsor, he might say something, for instance, about somebody's missus. It might be in bad taste. A blue chip company might say to Eddie, "Listen, we don't want to deal with you no more unless you get rid of him." I can assure you, Frank Smith will be getting his P45. Alright? And that's how it boxing is a very unforgiving sport. It's about money. You're dealing in pieces of meat. I know it's harsh and that, and I couldn't grab it. When I first started with Den, I couldn't grab it. Some of the things I'd see and I said, "Well, that ain't right." And he said, "Listen, This is how it is. And how can you say anything? Anyway, Russ, past you've got. And I say, well, you are right, like. And I say, yeah, but I'm always one of them that's all for fighters. And you have to get that mindset out your head. It ain't about the fighters. You're a promoter. You've got to get money, haven't you?
You've got to toe the line, yeah. And
the fighters are out. Listen, when it comes down to it, if Dillian White gets offered 10 million quid each fight for a 4-fight deal with Al Heyman, he will say, "Tata ready." And that's the harsh reality. It's like me, I was selling a car the other month and somebody says to me, "Will you take 2 grand for that?" I said, "No, I want 3 grand for it." I said, "In fact, I'm not selling it at all." And he said, "Aren't you selling it at all?" I said, "No, I'm going to run it into the ground." He said, "But if I offered you 5 grand for it, you'd take it, wouldn't you?" I goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, there you are selling it then." Money talks and bullshit walks, doesn't it, Lee?
Nah, you're right there.
But you've made good points. You made good points there about that. Loads have mentioned it to me today. They muted it, didn't they, to make him look good?
Yeah. Well, it was just because it was specifically they muted the swear words, which alright, I get that in a way. But then to mute that kind of like 20-30 seconds of him being specific about, oh, you got big, didn't you, after the Olympics? Yeah. I just think if you're someone who only watches it on Sky Sports Boxing, and look at all the comments at the time of people going, "Oh, sort your audio out."
Yeah, I could hardly hear anything.
But how many of them people though who are going to actually go out of the way to find a boxing channel
to hear it,
see what was said?
Well, that's what they did. They drowned it out, didn't they? They drowned Miller out, didn't they?
Yeah. Because he was, Anthony Joshua called him drug cheap, but when, the facts were thrown back at him.
Yeah, we're quiet, wasn't
he? Didn't he? He says, I know bodybuilders who can't put 20 pounds of muscle on in a year.
I do. I spoke to one recently. I've got a friend called Ian Harrison. He were in Mr. Olympia in mid-90s. If you Google him, he's called Ian Harrison. He's from Leeds. He lives out in Bradenton in Florida. And he's a big, huge guy. And I said to him, "Is it possible to put, 2 stone on over a year of muscle and take 3% off your body fat?" He said, "No, not unless you're on anything. The human body can't do that." I said, "What about if you've got superhuman genes and all that?" He says, "No." He said, "Impossible." Yeah, he said, you can't. He says, "You can't do it." I said, "Well, how do you get that big then?" He says, "Weetabix and Frosties." I said, "Did you?" He says, "No, I did this because I take gear down and they all do." He says, "But I couldn't put on that much in a year." He says, "You couldn't do it without taking just about everything." So something happened because he disappeared, didn't he, for a year? But we ain't got no proof of this. But he's not VADA registered.
Like that.
Hey?
Yeah. It was about 18 months, wasn't it? He was Guy 4 or something.
Yeah. He's not VADA registered, Lee, is he? Joshua.
Well, it just ties back into what you were saying about the money. And my brother Steve, he'll tell anyone. Yeah. Lance Armstrong, he never got done, did he?
No, he didn't get done because he was massive. He was massive.
And we know for a fact what he done. So I see all these people saying he's tested X amount of times a year and all this malarkey. It's easy to get tested when the people who were testing you are on the payroll.
Do you know when it all comes out in the end, right? This is what I think. You know what's going to happen, Lee? Somebody's going to get hurt with these mismatches. I mean, really hurts. Dare to be great, I don't believe in it. Like Paul Smith against Ward, oh my God. Or somebody, something's going to come out one day and it's going to be about drug testing, but by that time Joshua's retired. When he retires, Eddie's going to retire. He'll not be in boxing once he's gone because they're not going to have somebody like this ever again. That's why they've got to put all their eggs into the Joshua basket. He is their number one priority now because they are looking to get out of boxing. Everybody in the industry knows when he's gone, Ern and his dad are gone. They'll bail out because what are they left with? What are they left with?
Well,
they're not left with anything, are they, after him?
I can only hope then if that does happen, boxing will be left in a better position or in at least the same position. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Boxing doesn't, go down the pan again.
Yeah, I hope, like it did a few years, 10 years ago. I hope that this is what I'd like to see. People say, "Oh, you've got this crusade against Eddie Hearn." Too right, I have. I'm a boxing man through and through. I want to see when that new Sky deal comes up, whether it's 4 to 5 year or 5.5 year, I don't know exact date. When it comes up again, I want to see them dates shared out between Ricky Hatton, Dennis Hobson, Neil Marsh, Steffi Bull, Carl Greaves, Steve Goodwin, Joe Neal at Portsmouth. Share them out with all them lads. Share the cake. Give all them Mick Hennessy, give all them people some dates, because Eddie Hearn can't fill them dates. Look what he's doing. But nobody dares say a word because they all want to get on Sky. Nobody dare come out and say anything. Whereas now that I'm not like with Dennis every day and affiliated with him full stop, I can say what I want. And he's like, oh, isn't it great, Russ? I don't have people ringing up complaining about you every day and what you said on Twitter. So I can say what I want now. I've gone on my own. Yeah. Now, when I were with him, he would always digging me out in an hole. You know, if you want Tony Bellew ringing up, it was somebody else. You know, so now I can do what I want, right? But I want to see the love shared. He can't fill them dates. He can't fill them. He can't. They've got to be shared, mate. They've got to be shared by everybody. And then boxing's in a strong position. But where Sky made the mistake, they gave them carte blanche. They give them carte blanche and they're running amok with it now. And they're doing what they want. They've gone to DAZN now. They're doing what they want. Sky and knackered, they've got to bite the lip.
I hope DAZN does, in some way, come to the UK, you know, to make it cheaper for everyone get into boxing. But we'll have to see what happens.
We will.
We'll have to see if that comes off.
I agree with you.
I've got to shoot anyway.
No problem, Lee. Well, listen, no problem.
One last thing to say is let's make sure everyone watching prays for David Price. I hope he doesn't get knocked out again.
Yeah, I do. I don't want him to fight again. I like David Price. I don't want him to fight, mate.
After Povetkin, in fact, before Povetkin, he should have retired. After Povetkin, that should have just, you know.
He needs saving from himself, doesn't he, David? Bless him.
He does. Listen, Russ, keep up all the good work.
All right, thank you very much, Lee.
Tuning in.
All right, mate.
Take care, mate.
See you, mate. Bye-bye. Bye. That were Lee from Birkenhead, an hardcore boxing fan. He seemed to know his stuff, which is good, isn't it? So that's good. A good conversation, that, actually. Quite stimulating on my way home. Have a look. 16 minutes, alright. Have a little chat up here. Let's pull up. Then I'm going to go in and hot bath, get me trackie on. Get me a easy trackie on, Old Faithful. I've had it about 5 years now. Get Old Faithful on. Fancy going for a game of snooker today, turning the old arm over. But I think I'm going to go tomorrow. Can get my head around a few frames. So it's been an eventful day, actually. We haven't really covered much about that push, have we, really? It was shocking, wasn't it, that push? But Joshua had his arms behind his back, like he didn't want to get his arms injured, put them behind his back and just took one to the chest. It all were a bit cringe all looked a bit cringe to me, to be honest. But that's cricket, innit, I suppose. That's cricket. But yeah, I enjoyed that conversation with Lee. I should have had young Zach Evans on, but he didn't answer, he didn't get back to me. But what's he doing here? But anyway, peace out. Keep supporting boxing. It's a great sport, and I think I've had a good go at it today. I've got through them emails, had a chat about them. So I've enjoyed it today. Enjoyed it. So I hope you're all going to watch the Eubank against DeGale fight. I'm going to go for a draw because they're both Al Heyman fighters, and he'll not want one of them winning and going to fight on a Warren or a Hearn show. The loser and the winner is going to fight on another show. DeGale will go and fight Billy Joe when he beats that bump at WBO, and Eubank will go and fight as a middleweight, I believe. I think he'll fight as a middleweight. He might even get a Canelo fight on DAZN or on Sky. But Eubank's sister goes with Frank Smith at Matchroom, so I can assure you. Let me ring you back in 2 seconds. 2 secs. Eubank's sister goes with Frank Smith at Matchroom, so I can assure you that I've heard back anyway that you know, little Frank Smith chipping away at Eubank, he'd be like that, won't it? Oxycute them with Oxy 10. So here we go, Postman Pat. Postman Pat's here. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Shall we sing Postman Pat to him? He's got some mail for me. Right, peace out, keep on trucking, keep supporting boxing. It's a great sport.
Now that deal with ESPN and Top Rank's been done, when do you realistically see Wilder Fury being announced?
I don't know yet. It depends if we can do the deal. So let's see if we can do the deal first of all. Because as I say, no one's spoken for over a week. So today we'll have some chats and see where we go with it.
Okay, let's move.
I see you swerved the question there, Frankie boy, didn't you? Hey? Whatever happened to done in a heartbeat? Done in a heartbeat. Isn't it amazing how a few quid and everybody loses all their inhibitions, all the promises and pride and all these fighting men, and it all goes AWOL, doesn't it? All goes AWOL, eh? Unbelievable. Oh, Frank Warren getting his 20% of millions, now all of a sudden they just want to fight stiffs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.